Okay. It looks like I was muted that whole time. I went on to the other screen and it looks like I was muted. So I was doing all that talking and y'all didn't hear me saying one little thing. Lord have mercy. So what we're going to do, this is going to be a redo. We're going to roll back time and we're going to do it again. And I guess what I'm going to have to do is once I finish, I'll download this and then I'll cut it and reload it so you guys don't have to listen to the full hour because it's probably going to be an hour. But we're going to start all over again. Hey, I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. And today we're going to be talking about how to plan for uncertainty. This is part 3 of our series that we've been doing in 100 Days of Purpose, because if you're going to be a person of purpose and you're going to be strategic and intentional about what it is that you are doing, then you want to be able to plan for uncertainty. And in planning for uncertainty, the number one key in that, now we've talked about how to plan. I gave you a strategy yesterday on how to plan for uncertainty. Today, I'm going to take it a little bit further because the key in planning for an uncertainty is that you need to embrace it. Who knew, right? Who knew that that was going to be something that was going to come out of my mouth? And so today someone is going to say, well, Linda, this sounds a little bit contradictory because yesterday you told us blah, blah, blah. Once I get into this, you're going to understand it all. So let me go over here and I'm going to try to go fast because like I said, I've been talking and my mic wasn't on. So I'm going to try to go over this as thorough as I did just a few minutes ago, but a little bit quicker so it's not as long. So let's face it, change happens. It's going to happen. It's going to take place in our lives, and we have got to be ready for the change. And we learned yesterday over the past 2 days that planning for uncertainty is necessary. But we're also going to understand that in the planning it, we need to embrace that uncertainty is going to happen because life comes fast at us. Life comes quick and things shift up and change up all the time. And in the blink of an eye, change happens and opportunities come and go. And so we have got to understand that even hindsight being 2020 does not mean that we are embracing uncertainty. It means that we are learning the lessons that we need to learn. But when we look back and reflect on where we were at this time when we made this decision, that's good for gaining knowledge, right? But what happens in the moment when you're in that moment and you need to make that determination, but you don't have all the facts or you don't have all the information? This is how you learn to embrace uncertainty, and you learn how to live in the moment and do what's necessary to get you to your goal, to get you to your finish line, to implement the planning that you have done. Because if you plan for uncertainty, when it shows up, you're not taken by surprise, no matter what it looks like. Okay, sometimes we can become very callous because things seem to always show up when we don't want it to show up. It never works out and we become callous and we don't even try. That's not what I'm saying. That's not embracing uncertainty. That's not allowing uncertainty to catapult you into your success and being a person of purpose, living intentional and then strategically on purpose. That's not the way to do it. And so you've got to understand and have a reality check that there are too many things we can't afford not to do, but there are some things we can't afford to do. And if we start stressing and spending our energy on what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and get into that what if spiral and that circle of, or that cycle of fear, then we are defeating the purpose all the way around. We're defeating our own purpose. Okay, so we need to break this vicious cycle. We need to understand that change is going to happen, and we need to plan to be ready for it. But more importantly than that, we need to embrace it. We need to just understand that it's a part of life. And how do we do that? We start when we learn our lessons, we start with a clean slate. We don't bring yesterday's baggage into today. We don't bring last year's woos and woes into today. If we learned our lesson, we can work with a clean slate, and we can shift our perspective, and we can gain knowledge, and we can gain wisdom, and we can gain understanding so that we can move forward. So that we can embrace that more uncertainty will come into our lives, that more change will come into our lives, and we can be okay with that because we have a plan and we're embracing it. So number one is going to be recognize, understand, and believe things are not always going to be in your control. There are certain things you can control, and there are things that you cannot control. And you've got to embrace the things that you cannot control. What does that mean? And I know somebody is saying that's easier said than done, Linda. But just remember this, that if you have an idea about how your future will play out, think again. Life never goes according to your plan. It goes according to God's plan, but it doesn't go according to your plan, because we don't know what the future holds. We can never know what the future holds. So the things that are out of our control are out of our control. We can't determine what color our hair was going to be, the natural color of our hair. Now, we can go out and buy product to change it, but that does not change the natural color. We can't change the natural color of our eyes. We can't change the natural color of our skin. We cannot change how tall we are. We can't change our body structure. We can't change how our body works. We can't change when our body starts to fail. It gets out of our control. There are things that are out of our control. We can't control what other people say, what other people do, what other people think. There are things that are out of your control, and you need to recognize that, and live in that, and be okay with that. Because honestly, we can do everything in our power to land a promotion, get a new job, obtain licenses and all those things, get education. We can do everything within our power to do that. But when it comes to certain things, if we're not selected, you applied to Harvard and they didn't accept you, that's not something you can control. That's out of your control. So why worry about it? Why fret over it? Why go out and do self-destructive behaviors because somebody rejected you? That is out of your control. You cannot force people to change. You can't force people. All you can control is you. So understand that, recognize that, and know that you can't make people do stuff in your favor. And be okay with that. Number two, shift your focus to what you know. Okay, I'm repeating what I said yesterday because it's important. Even in planning, you should plan with what you know. But in embracing the uncertainty, you need to focus and shift your perspective. When you're going down that spiral, when you're going over here to left and worrying about stuff that you can't control, you need to know how to shift yourself back to what you know, back to focus on what's most important. And that is being present in the moment. That is understanding that these things are beyond my control, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I don't need to expend my energy. I don't need to waste my time. Shift your focus from what you can't control to what you can control. Shift your focus from what you don't know to what you know. And don't allow yourself to get wrapped up in those negative emotions, because we talk about the fear cycle. There's a trigger, and that trigger, that the event that happens, that thing, that situation, circumstance that happens causes the fear response. The fear response then gets you into the negative feelings. The negative feelings get you into self-destructive behaviors, and on and on and on and on and on. The self-destructive behaviors put you in a place where there's an event that triggers you. Then you go back into the fear response, you go back into the negative feelings and back into your self-destructive behavior. So you got to break the cycle by staying in the present. You got to break the cycle by understanding what it is you know and living in that. Understanding and recognizing the future is out of your hands. You have a goal, you have a vision, but things may not go the way you want them to go to get you to that goal and that vision. Number 3, you should be comfortable with discomfort. While that might sound like a lofty contradiction, or, like Linda, you told me to be comfortable in my discomfort, but wouldn't that make me comfortable? I get it. But let me say it has merit. Okay? It has merit. Since the future is out of your control and you're focusing only on what you know and being present in the moment, you've got to be prepared for everything along the way, right? You've got to understand that preparation is key. You've got to understand that motivation is key. You've got to understand that inspiration is key. You've got to recognize that there are going to be times when you're going to be uncomfortable. And when I say uncomfortable, I know some people think discomfort, you think pain, you think that's not a good thing. But discomfort in this sense is a good thing, because that discomfort is going to keep you moving forward. So 1, you got to recognize that there are things you cannot control. Number 2, you got to focus on what's important, focus on what you know. And number 3, you've got to be okay with discomfort. You got to be okay with always being ready to shift and do something that you've never done. One of my favorite secular groups, or pop groups, if you will, for those of you that are not saved, is Maroon 5. And they said it this way: life isn't always rainbows and butterflies. It's compromises that move us along. That's what you got to remember. You don't get the rainbows and butterflies and ice cream and peaches and cream, right? You get the compromise, and you got to be able to trade it and know when to trade up and when to trade down. And you got to understand that. Okay. We can't always have the things turn out in our favor, because then we don't learn lessons. Remember, I said earlier, failure is not always the bad thing. Failure is sometimes a lesson learned. Okay? So it's baby steps, but be okay with discomfort. Life isn't easy. So train yourself to learn how to handle being uncomfortable. It's just like when you want to lose weight. When you want to add muscle, you go to the gym. There's pain involved. There's discomfort involved. There's lifestyle changes. You can't eat cake and ice cream every day and think you're going to lose weight. You can't continue to eat chips and all of this negative fast food and think that you're going to lose your weight, right? You gotta change some things, and you gotta be okay with discomfort. And I'm going to leave it there, because I can talk about that all day. Number 4, accepting change and being flexible are soft skills. If you're in customer service, you soft skills is something that's thrown out a whole lot. And as you know, I've been in customer service. I worked in customer service for Blue Shield, Blue Cross, Blue Shield of California. And so, I was on the phones, and you learn some soft skills. And those soft skills are things that you learn. They're not things that you know or that come natural to you. These are things that you learn, that you acquire over time to make you a good professional, to make you more pliable, to make you more valuable to the company that you are and to the customers that you're serving. And so if you want to be successful in your future, then you got to let go of the past and live in the present. But you also got to understand and develop some soft skills. And those soft skills are accepting change and being flexible. Being able, I believe I said it yesterday, to bob and weave, right? You got to know how to bob and weave. You'll have to understand that change is a part of life, and you need to be flexible to have some grasp on what's happening in the future. You got to be flexible. Believe it or not, but these skills are essential for working alongside others and for having the best possible outcome in your future. When you are a person of purpose, you've got to accept change, and you've got to be flexible. You've got to be agile. Okay. Number 5, life shouldn't be put on hold. You should never wait until tomorrow for things that you can do today. You should never be, well, I'm going to try to save up this type of money, and I'm going to try to do this, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to woo, 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 and then someday I'm going to do this, and someday I'm going to do that. Stop putting your life on hold. Start making plans to do stuff now. Start implementing some of the things that you want to do now, because you never know. There's been times when I've gone out on a trip to do something, and maybe it was for business, maybe it was for ministry, maybe it was for just getting away to clear my head and and an opportunity had presented itself. And had I been sitting at home or sitting in my office or, going about my regular normal life, I would have missed out on that opportunity because I wasn't in the right place at the right time. So sometimes you've got to stop putting life on hold and get involved in your life so the opportunities that are waiting for you can find you. Because it's just like if you were trying to date somebody, the right person is not going to knock on your door and say, here I am, the man or the woman of your dreams, right? You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to make yourself available. Stop putting life on hold. Stop fixating on your future and sitting there looking at the vision board, but doing nothing. It's one day, someday. Now is one day. Now is someday. Because it's time consuming and it's a waste of time to fixate on things, but you're not doing anything about it. What are you going to do about it? How does this, me talking to you right now about not putting your life on hold, how is that making you feel? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit there and be like, well, she don't know what she talking about. I ain't got no money to that. Well, that's why you don't got no money. Your attitude stinks. What you're focusing on is being broke. So yeah, no, you're not going to have no money because you just told your life that you want to remain broke. You try your hardest to anticipate what's going to happen. And you should anticipate what's going to happen. But that should not stop you and block you and hinder you from doing something now. You know what now stands for? Now, new opportunities waiting. Now, new opportunities waiting. Who are they waiting for? They're waiting for you, but you're waiting for it. It's not going to come to you. You got to go out there and get it. Stop putting your life on hold. Sorry, I lost my page. Give me 1 second. See, I must be doing something well. Today must be needed because everything. I mean, my mic was on mute. I went through this whole thing. My life was everything was fine. Went through it once, everything was fine, right? But my mic was on mute. Now I'm going through it, and now the thing want to blink off and whatever. You know what? That's okay. Because I'm okay with being uncomfortable. I'm okay with moving forward, and I'm not going to put nothing on hold. I'm going to keep going. So number 6. So let's go over We had number one, which is you can't understand that you can't control everything. Number two is focus on what you know, focus on the most important things, being present in the moment. Number three was let me roll back so I can say them in the order that I gave them. You should be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Number four is accepting change and being flexible are soft skills. Number five is stop putting your life on hold. Number six, you need to know yourself. The reason why we can't take advantage of things and we can't do things and we say negative things to ourselves is because we don't truly know who we are. We've got to know who we are. We've got to know that we know who we are. And once you know that, once you introduce yourself to yourself, yeah, I said it. Once you introduce yourself to your true self, not this self that other people have labeled you to be, not this self that you believe yourself to be, but truly who you are. Once you tap in and find out who you truly are, then you will not allow fear to run your life, and you will be aware of when things come out of focus, and you'll know how to bring them back into focus. You'll start living in the moment, and you will not let any minute of your day, any day of your week, any week of your month, any month of your year, you will not let any year of your life, you will not let it be wasted. You will live life to the maximum. Take a deep breath. Get a journal and start asking yourself some questions. Interview yourself. Get to know who you truly are. Because once you know who you truly are and you know your core values and you have your mission statements and you're presenting yourself truly and authentically to the world, you're going to find that you're less stressed and you're able to tackle anything that comes your way. Number 7, when opportunity comes a knocking, you better be home to open up the door. That's the real thing. That's the real thing. When opportunity comes knocking, you need to answer, and you need to understand that it may not be in a package that you want. It may not be coming from the person that you want it to come from. It may not look the way you thought it would look. But as you elevate and you focus on what you know, and your mind begins to elevate and open up for new opportunities because your mind is open, it don't matter what the opportunity looks like. You'll be able to know if that opportunity is beneficial to you or not. So letting go, you will be able to seize the day. Going through these tips, you'll be able to take advantage of every moment. And with your newfound skills of flexibility and accepting change, you will be able to consider every option, every opportunity that comes your way, and you'll be able to do it systematically, and it's not going to take you a whole lot of time. You'll be able to, in the moment, get to the answers that you need to get to make the right decision. Don't let yourself become trapped with just one option. No, I only have this option, or I have no option. That's not the truth. Every situation that presents itself to you has several options for you to take, but you don't know that because you're so focused on what you can't control. Keep your mind open, live in the moment. No matter what your career or your personal aspirations, what your family life looks like, who you are, if you're educated, uneducated, Christian, non-Christian, man, woman, black, white, yellow, green, purple, whatever, right? It don't matter. Short, fat, skinny, tall, it don't matter. Black hair, blonde hair, red hair, green hair, purple hair, it don't matter. None of that matters in the scheme of who you are. You can use these 7 tips that I gave you on embracing uncertainty, on planning for uncertainty. You can take these tips and you can experience true satisfaction and living a life of purpose and showing up where you need to show up and shining bright and taking advantage of every opportunity, because you deserve to live the best life. You deserve to live a good life. But to live the best life, you're going to have to go after it. You're going to have to fight for it. So plan, put that plan and implement that plan. Do something. Just do something. Every single day, you should be doing something towards your goals. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen and stop by, and those of you that are interacting with me, asking me questions, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I thank you for allowing me to be who I am and helping you become the very best purpose-driven you that you can be. You be blessed, be encouraged. Until next time, this is Coach Linda. You're watching 100 Days of Purpose, and I am out for real this time. I'm going to try to go in. It's going to be up, but I'm going to try to go in and redo it, cut it down, so the part that you couldn't hear gets erased off and you only get this part. So y'all cross y'all fingers, because I've been trying to learn how to edit videos. And back in the day, they used to have like a free thing and it was pretty simple to use. But now, it's just, I don't know. Everything is so hard and time consuming. And, Linda ain't got that much time. I got stuff to do. I ain't got time to be learning this stuff. And then I hate to be paying somebody else, right? Because I should know how to do a simple go and cut here and then put it up. But y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. My mind. I'm not as patient as I used to be when I first got into this internet game. So we gonna do that, and I'll be back tomorrow with another 100 Days of Purpose. You be blessed. You be encouraged. Remember, only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. I double dog dare you to be exactly who you were created and designed and made to be. And I dare you to get up and shine bright so that the world can see your light. I'm out.